You know, practicing medicine is not always easy because human bodies are really complex. I know one of my mentors said to me, if anybody tells you that this is simple, run the other way. Sometimes it's really simple. Sometimes we see amazing miracles, and those miracles give us the hope and they make us, so excited about helping other people, right? So I remember once I had a little boy, he was 4 years old and he wasn't speaking and he had chronic sinus congestion, and we identified some heavy metals that were affecting his sinuses, and we started him on a protocol to clear those out, and all of a sudden he started talking. Like, we weren't even working with that. His mom was pretty cool at letting him figure it out in his own time. And then I had another little boy who had severe, what they said was ADHD, where he couldn't even speak. All he could do was make noise, da, 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 da. And he would run around the room banging into things as his parents, who are from India, would sit on my big fluffy carpet in my clinic and very calmly. And I'd look at them, I'd say, "Are you two meditators?" And they says, "Oh, yes." And I could tell because you're pretty calm. And he, about 2 months later, walked into my clinic and he looked at me and he said, "Hello, Dr. Cari. Nice to see you." Oh my goodness, right? So miracles happen, but there was a miracle that happened that I just love because it actually happened not not with a client I was working with, but as the result of the changes a client made. So I was working with this woman, and one of the things we really struggled with was getting her to clean up her diet because that's an important piece of changing these bodies. If we want to have a different experience, we got to change the choices we're making every day, people. And if you've cleaned up your diet, then it's a different choice you got to change. We got to change our thoughts. We got to change our movement. We got to do something different. Otherwise, we'll end up in the same place. First law of physics, right? An object in motion stays in motion at the same velocity and in the same direction unless acted upon by an equal and opposite force. So we are the force. We are the thing that puts in the energy to change. Anyway, so she was coming to me and she was really struggling with that piece. And after working together for a while, doing a lot of emotional work to get her ready to actually make the changes, she finally said, "Cari, I'm ready." And I was like, "Great." So we put her on the 21-day diet detox. It's a way that I help people change their diet. And while she was doing it, she said to her husband, "Hey, will you do this with me?" Now, her husband was a diabetic. And he wasn't on insulin yet, but he was quickly heading in that direction. He had blood sugar levels that were in the high 200s. Anyway, so she does this 21-day diet detox and he does it with her. And his blood sugar returned to normal. He had an appointment with his doctor a few weeks after doing the 21-day diet detox. And the doctor said, "It's time we got to talk about insulin." And he said, "My blood sugar is normal." And his doctor said, "What are you talking about?" And he says, "My blood sugar is normal." And the doctor said, "Well, I don't know if I believe you." So he put a glucose monitor on him. He did not have to go on insulin. He was able to decrease his other medications. And it became a lifestyle that they adopted. They literally changed their life. So again, sometimes the changes aren't easy. And sometimes we struggle to make them. That's usually because there's an outdated survival program, a program in our subconscious that isn't in alignment with us feeling better. I know that sounds crazy, but it's actually true. Once you get out of your own way and you're able to make the changes, miracles can happen. So, are you ready for a miracle? I know I was when I came to this work. And so we're here if you're ready for a miracle. And again, remember, if you have a family member that's struggling, you do the work and you will encourage them to do the work. It's quite amazing. I'm sending you all so much love and, wanting to provide you some good news during this time where uh, things can be a little stressful if you're watching the news. Anyway, take a news pause. That's my recommendation to everybody. Sending you so much love.